Welcome to our first episode of We Pronounce You Unfiltered. Moyra and Nicki, we are here to share some really helpful tips when you are getting married. Navigating your way through all of the things that you think you might need, you don't need, and everything else.
I'm going to tell you why I had to get dressed in my wedding gown in a tent.
And you'll also hear how I threw a shoe at the lead singer of the band at my reception and uncover what is the 5% Club.
Looking forward to explaining that one.
All loved up and ready to propose? Or maybe you're searching for the perfect wedding ring. My Jewellery Shop are your engagement and wedding ring experts. At My Jewellery Shop, it's your time to shine. Gold Coast Highway, Nobby Beach, and myjewelleryshop.com.au. Moyra Major and Nicki Amos.
We pronounce you unfiltered. Welcome to We Pronounce You Unfiltered. My name is Moyra. This is my beautiful friend Nicki. Hello, Nicki.
Hello, Moyra. How are you?
Right, so we're both, I'm in training to be a celebrant, and you have been a celebrant for how long?
5 years.
5 years, okay. So we thought there are so many wonderful stories about weddings.
Absolutely.
About brides and grooms, about things that can go wrong, about things that we've seen over our time, and also about everything to do with a wedding. There's so much that goes into one day.
Absolutely does.
Now, you and I both know that a wedding can get done in roughly around about 5 minutes. We have to get a bit of time for the paperwork and all that kind of stuff. But so much effort goes into these weddings.
Behind the scenes.
And it is, isn't it? It's the flowers. It's, I had meaning I'm a training is that I've done my course, I've done everything else. You can actually do a wedding without your celebrancy license, but you have to have legit legal, as I call you,
yes,
to do all the paperwork and to marry someone in Australia. So there's only a very small component to being a celebrant that you actually need to do,
That's
isn't
right.
it?
It's like a minute.
Isn't that funny?
It is a minute's worth of legals.
And it's love and it's full on and it's the biggest day of your life apparently and all that kind of jazz, but it's 1 minute.
That's it.
So we thought what we'd do is we'd go through some experiences because we've done this together for quite a while.
Yes.
And then we've also obviously known each other for many years as well. The background between Nicki and I, which is quite funny.
A little unconventional.
Unconventional for friends. But Nicki was actually my husband's first girlfriend. Is that how it works?
That's how it works.
So what
yes.
year were we talking about this?
Oh, I'm going to say, I was 16, so I'm going to say 90.
Just say 90s.
90s.
There you go.
It
That doesn't
was.
age
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it was. Thank you. Yeah,
So
90s.
then many years later, I would always hear about this Nicki girl. And then I don't even know how we actually ended up meeting up.
I do. It was at Corey and Lydia's 40th birthday party.
Right, so one of our mutual friends.
Yes.
And I had heard that you were going to be there. And anyway, we kind of started chatting. And then over the years, we've made this beautiful friendship.
Absolutely.
And you haven't seen my husband for the entire
Which is kind of perfect.
So
Paul.
I got you when you broke up, which is lovely. And I think being very similar people as well. What drew you to being a celebrant?
Well, originally a good friend of mine was getting married and her dad was in a respite home.
Okay.
And so they had a celebrant come to the nursing home.
Yep.
But then she wanted a celebration and I was a personal trainer for 15 years and she was like, can you just do this and get up in front of everyone? I said, yeah, sure, no problem. And I did it and everyone was like, wow, I didn't know you were a celebrant. And I was like, well, I'm not.
Yeah.
But and then it just prompted me to go and do it.
And so you did your study, which is basically a course which is supposed to only take roughly around about 6 months, but it's taken me about 2.5 years.
Oh, look, it took me a year to do mine.
Some of it is actually very, very difficult. And there's girlfriends of mine who have said it's harder to actually do the celebrancy course. And it depends on who you're going with, but the celebrancy course is harder than a psychology degree.
Yeah.
Because some of them are actually very, very difficult. You can do them online. You can do them in person. What did you choose?
I did the same as you. I did Rose training.
Yep, and so we both did it online.
Yes.
Fantastic place. Great. Mark is one of the trainers. He'll actually join us on one of our episodes as well.
Brilliant.
With some amazing stories about what's gone wrong at his weddings as well. That involved dog poo. But anyway, that's for a further episode. So what we'd like to do is basically we're going to chat about the tips, the truths as well.
Yep.
Let people know what you really need to do, but mainly share some amazing stories.
Yes.
Share some stories of some people. And just knowing what we have in store for you there's just so many beautiful stories of things that can go wrong, or just people who don't understand situations,
Yes.
time and place.
Yes.
Bridesmaids,
Family members.
your family members, because there's so many working parts to a wedding.
Yes.
And as a celebrant, you do actually have the best seat in the house. You are standing there watching it all
Unfold.
fall apart. So things we'd like to touch on throughout this podcast as well. We'd like to talk about basically the vendors.
Yes.
We'd like to talk about anything that you didn't know, because a lot of people think that you have to have certain things. You can't dress up. You cannot, though. One of the big things that I do think we need to explain is you cannot have a surprise wedding.
Why would you say so?
Well, you wouldn't be able to have, hey, we're going to get married on the spot, because you have to have all your paperwork done.
Well, that's true. The couple would have to know only, but
Yes.
their guests could be surprised.
Their guests could be surprised, but
Yes.
everyone always thinks that you can just go on a elope.
Yes, no.
And it doesn't happen like that.
No.
And a wedding in Las Vegas,
Is not real.
yes. And I'm sorry, but the weddings on Married at First Sight are not real. There is certain stuff that you have to have, so you can't basically just say, hey, Gary, let's go and get hitched next week, because there is a lot of stuff that you actually have to do, and we'll cover that throughout our time as well, talking about that, all the magic, all the mayhem, all the madness of marriage.
Perfect.
We're both married, not to the same person, clearly. It didn't work out for you and my husband. But we thought you could get to know us a little bit better when it comes to marriages and things like that. So we're going to tell you some of the things that happened in our lives. And I guess as well, when you were getting married, how long have you been married now?
I've been married for 7 years.
So did you study a celebrancy before that or no?
No.
So there's actually certain things that I realised in my wedding.
Yes, absolutely.
And this is the thing, when you actually find out all the legal stuff and everything else. So we're going to touch on that next. Going to let you know a little bit about us, about our marriages, and also, the wedding day and everything like that. Well, a massive welcome and thank you to our new sponsor, which is wonderful, My Jewelry Shop. Of course, maybe, if you are listening to this podcast, you're all loved up and ready to propose, but maybe you haven't got the ring sorted yet.
Yes. Drop down to the shop to find the perfect, most unique ring for you.
Now, My Jewelry Shop, and I've, this particular business has been around for years, and they are absolutely engagement and wedding ring experts.
Yes.
They know exactly what you need. I think a lot of men would go in there and go, I want like this with like this attached to it and something square but pretty, and I swear they can speak man. It's amazing.
They have a stunning collection of rings. They're locally designed and made, and with perfectly cut diamonds sourced from all around the world, including GIA certified, Australian Argyle and lab created diamonds.
At My Jewelry Shop, it is your time to shine. Gold Coast Highway, Nobby Beach, and myjewelryshop.com.au.
All loved up and ready to propose? Or maybe you're searching for the perfect wedding ring. My Jewelry Shop are your engagement and wedding ring experts. At My Jewelry Shop, it's your time to shine. Gold Coast Highway, Nobby Beach, and myjewelryshop.com.au.
Well, it is the first episode of We Pronounce You Unfiltered. Moyra and Nicki chatting through all things celebrancy-ness, whatever that word is. Now, Nicki, tell me about you and your wedding day and your marriage.
Well, our wedding day, we wanted something totally cash.
Mm-hmm.
So we opted, and also I love a destination wedding because people are there for you.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to our favourite place on earth, which is Red Rock in New South Wales, and we had a camping wedding.
Oh, wow. So did you get ready for your big day in a tent?
I 100% did.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, I did. And in fact, I was getting rushed by everyone because in Red Rock they've got this gorgeous river and you can ride the tide. And we'd set up the beach and I'd set up the big love heart that we were going to stand in, and the water was beckoning and I was like, right, I'm going for a swim. So I just kept on doing little mini river runs, and they're like, get out of the water, get your makeup on.
How funny.
It was great.
And so what was the vibe? So it was a very casual wedding.
Very casual.
Everyone was very relaxed.
Yes.
What did you wear?
I wore just a really simple, it was a wedding dress.
Yeah.
In fact, it was from Marina Mirage, Strictly Bridal, but it was very simple.
Yeah.
And, quite fitted, had a nice deep split up the top,
Beautiful.
a little train.
Show the leg.
Yeah, showed a bit of leg on
Hair
the
and
beach.
makeup?
Yes, I did get all of that done,
Yep.
even though...
In the tent?
In a tent.
Not long after getting out of the water.
Yeah, the hair was getting done. Everything. It was in the tent.
And what about Bretzo? What did he have?
Same. He just got ready. Well, actually, we have a holiday house down there. So
Yep.
he went to the holiday house where the family was staying and got ready
Hang on,
there.
so he gets the fancy place and you have to get ready in a tent?
Well, it wasn't quite the tent.
Okay.
You know, there was a public toilet there.
Great start.
No, so we have and look, everyone had, not only were people camping, but it's a tiny little community there, so there were a lot of Airbnbs, so we could go and get ready. So I did get my makeup done in someone's Airbnb. My sister-in-law's a makeup artist.
Oh, cool.
So she did that. One of my good friends is a hairdresser who was there at the wedding. So, you know, it all came together really nicely.
And what was the bridal party arrangement?
Just my older children.
Yep.
Ray and Kiara to my ex-partner. And then our little daughter together, Pepper. She was our flower girl.
Oh, how cute. And what did they wear?
Kiara wore a peach dress.
Yep.
Pepper wore, she looked like a mini bride.
Cute.
And Brett and Ray just wore some, beige pants and buttoned up, unbuttoned, if you like, shirt.
And how long did the ceremony go for?
I'm going to say it went for about 20 minutes. Yeah.
That's all?
That's it.
That's all you wanted?
Yeah, that's all. We actually didn't even want any speeches. We sort of said, look, there's no speeches at the reception.
Yep.
So anyone who wants to say something, say it now or forever hold your peace.
Wow.
Yeah. We didn't do cutting of the cake. We did nothing. We just really wanted everyone to relax, hear our words and then party.
Yep.
What about you?
So married at the Radisson here on the Gold Coast. We had 5 groomsmen and 5 bridesmaids. Funny story about that, because one of the guys got really upset that he wasn't invited. It was actually the groomsman. So we were like, okay, we'll just keep on adding to it. So we kept on adding to it. It was by the water. It was 3 o'clock on a Friday, and we chose the date of 07, 08, 09.
Oh, brilliant.
Now, looking back on that, to be honest, how rude of me to ask people to take a Friday off. I never even thought about it. It was 3 o'clock. So a lot of my friends are teachers. So a lot of them had to take the day. I seriously didn't even think about it.
But nowadays, they're every day of the week.
Every day. And people are getting married. Some people get married at dawn.
Yes.
Which sorry, we're both not available for those weddings. So it was I had a beautiful dress made. I had a bagpiper walk me down the aisle. I had flower girls, the 5 brides. So mine was very traditional. And everyone had already had drinks by the time that we'd started. So that loosened everything up. We actually got ready at the Radisson and then came over in a golf cart. And then the boys actually got a Hummer from our place in Southport to there. But all of the boys are over over 6 foot at least. So except for one, bless his little cotton socks. But they all couldn't fit in there. So they couldn't actually sit upright because it's like this long limo, and it was like this massive. So they all kind of had to lie down in the back of the limousine. It was a beautiful ceremony. Friends did readings. We had a beautiful celebrant called Rosemary, who was a teacher of mine at school. Absolutely beautiful. And then as we walked back up the aisle, Paradise City by Guns N' Roses.
Oh,
so it
gorgeous.
was one of the very untraditional. And then we had just a massive party, fireworks. So yeah, completely
wow.
different.
Oh my God, you're just putting me to shame right now, girl.
We'd handmade all of our wedding decorations. We had made dragonflies that were made from wire and cling wrap, and they were made to look like wings, and they were absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
We had a band, had a buffet, first or second dance. I had a beautiful dance with my dad, which I still love the photos of. My brothers and my dad were wearing McGregor kilts, so they looked very, very cool. One of the first dances, I think I flicked I flicked a bit of an Elaine kick into the air, and my shoe came off and hit the lead singer. So it was really good.
Excellent.
And then I think everyone kind of left ours as well. It was fun. It was really fun. And then that was it's just a whirlwind of one day.
It is.
And that's what
goes quickly.
It does. It goes very quickly.
Yes.
And I think I can't even remember. I do remember I was a St Kilda fan at that stage, and Paul, obviously a Carlton fan from birth. You'd know that from your relationship with him.
Yes.
And we actually worked in St Kilda and Carlton into the vows that we promised to, when St Kilda's playing Carlton, we promised to be respectful and blah, 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 which is funny now because I don't even watch St Kilda, and I'm now, I was christened at the MCG as a Carlton supporter. But yeah, a beautiful day. So very different.
Very,
very different.
Yeah, we partied on until the next morning.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't actually even sleep. I did pull him away for the 5%er.
Okay. What's the 5%er?
Well, apparently only 5% of people consummate their marriage on their wedding night.
Only 5%?
Only 5%. Well, you've got to think about the day, right?
You
You're
do.
so exhausted.
You are, and there's been such
You're
a huge
up at the
build
crack
up.
of dawn, getting your hair and makeup.
Yep.
People are just like, get me into bed. I want it done.
Yes.
I'll see you in the morning.
So you actually said, right, now's the time.
Yeah.
Off you come.
Well, the funny thing is that I was banging on about it for ages, and then on the actual night, I was having so much fun with everyone. He dragged me into the tent to go, come on, girl.
Oh, nice.
I don't want to be told that I didn't, hold my end of the bargain.
Hang on, so only 5% of people actually admit to...
Yeah, I was very surprised at that too.
But I guess it's a massive thing.
When
and
you
I guess
think
now,
about everything, you kind of understand
and
it.
relationships are completely different now, whereas a lot of people obviously to save themselves for marriage and all that kind of jazz, and we're just big bunch of whore. No, we're not. I think we did. Yeah, we did. So I must be part of the 5% as well.
Go, girl.
Yay,
up there.
All right, there we go. But that's another thing as well. There's so much pressure on the couple.
Yes.
And so much pressure. So did you have flowers or anything?
Yes. So again, a gorgeous girl. Well, it wasn't even really flowers. It was a bunch of greenery.
She stole from down by the lake.
Random gardens along the way.
Whatever.
No, she did bring it all down for me. But, the night before I was helping her put them together.
Isn't that funny?
So, it was really just an all-in. I was setting up the reception room and the fairy lights and the morning of. So it was a real kind of DIY, but it was the best week of my life.
Would you have changed it at all?
Not a thing.
Not a single thing?
Not a thing.
I wouldn't have invited so many people. We invited a lot of people. There was over like 140 people.
Yeah, we had 191, but that included kids. There was like 70 kids.
Yeah, and there were barely any kids at ours.
Yeah.
But I certainly wouldn't have, and that's something I do regret, is the amount of money we spent
for people you probably don't really even
and
see.
you know what, have not seen since, thought they were important in that moment.
Yes.
And just, that's one big thing. So that's something else, is looking back at your wedding day. Do you really need such a huge day? Who are you having that huge day for?
When I speak to couples, that's one of the things I say to them. Especially if they're getting overwhelmed with the guest list, go think 5 years from now, are you going to be seeing these people?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a good question to ask.
And a couple recently who I spoke to, I said, is there anything that I need to know about, family or anything? Oh, didn't I hear it all? And it was like, well, this person's a bitch and this person's being horrible and the mother of this person's being horrible. And I said, okay, you know what? You don't need them. You don't need it in there. You don't need any. If it's going to cause more issues for you to actually have these people in there that already through this journey has been, and you know what, there's many, many stories we can tell you about how families get involved and how families it gets ugly.
It does.
As well.
And people, so actually I'm going through this with a couple at the moment and they were due to get married this August. They bought a house. They said, okay, no, we're going to postpone it. And then family issues came up and now it's just going to be them two, their witnesses and myself.
Wow.
So, it happens.
So as in family completely separated or family just kicked up a stink?
Just something went on and it was all just too hard and she just went, well, you know what, let's make it about us.
Wow.
And sometimes, when things get ugly, I guess that's where it goes, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, it's only about the two of you.
And that's it. That's a big thing, is that to get married, all you need is obviously yourself, a celebrant.
And your witnesses.
And that is it. It can be 5 of you or even 4 of you, really, because the celebrant can be a witness.
Absolutely, yes.
So that's all you need. So all of the, hullabaloo, let's call it, of having those people there, and then people who expect to be part of your day.
Yes.
Or they expect to, make a speech, and then there's some drunk uncle who comes through and wants to tell a story about when you shat yourself when you were 4. And it's like, this is not the time, Graham.
Yeah.
Just sit down.
Yeah.
So, this is what we'd like to talk about. And the things that matter the most are you and your partner.
Yes.
Male, female, female, male, whatever it is, female, female, male, male, whatever. All that matters is that you're choosing to make this commitment to each other for the right reason.
That's right.
You both, there's consent involved, there's all that kind of stuff. And that's something that as celebrants you've got to be aware of as well when you're talking to the couples.
Yes, yeah, indeed.
I found that quite overwhelming, that you have to kind of almost be a little bit of a detective when it comes to see if
both are on the same page.
And sometimes, there was a couple of times where there was a couple of red flags with a couple of couples, or maybe one couple in particular. He just seemed very determined to have it his way. Mm-hmm. Everything was his way. And so I actually had to meet them separately so I could kind of suss out the fact of whether or not they were on the same page, so to speak.
Yeah,
and that's
important.
Actually quite frightening.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Because, coercive for certain nationalities too.
Absolutely.
I actually just did an arranged marriage recently. So they were from Sri Lanka, but their weddings over there are massive.
Oh, yeah.
Like she said when she goes home with him to have this wedding, there's going to be like 2,000 people, and that's her family and friends only.
And then these are going to go for days?
Yes, and because they invite, so if I'm inviting, my best friend, I'm also inviting my best friend's partner, his parents, her parents, and any children that had come along with that.
I can only imagine the bill that would
be. It blows my mind.
But arranged, so it was... So
their parents had... her parents had really sussed him out, and his family had done a full background check that he was going to be suitable enough. They then sort of court but don't live together, so they get
do get to know each other.
They get to know each other, but also in their culture, if a family member dies, like an immediate family member, so grandparents, parents, they cannot get married for an entire year. So she had lost someone, he had lost a grandparent, and then she's just recently lost another one. So 3 years they've been waiting, so now they really know each other.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's, you kind of be thankful in a way.
That's right.
But I mean, these are the amazing stories. There was a couple who, Paul and I were engaged after 3 months. So we were together for 3 months and he proposed.
Oh, God, he puts my husband to shame. He took 11 years.
11 years.
11 years.
Isn't that funny? I don't know but see, I'd met Paul many years earlier and he was married to someone else. So also that's another thing to cover as well as the second marriages, because it does actually change things, and it does, if you've been divorced 27 times, obviously you're shit at marriage, but let's hope you're not. But your last one only counts when it comes to when you're doing all your paperwork as well. But there is a massive thing about, I don't want to do that because that's what my other partner did.
Well, and funny enough, that's probably why my second one was so laxy.
So you were married before?
I was married before.
And what was the first one like?
So much like what you described, in a ballroom, the chair covers, the bonbonnières, the speeches, everything. It was
fireworks?
No.
Okay,
sorry. So you trumped me there.
Thank you.
But yeah, absolutely. So traditional.
Isn't that funny?
And then so the second one, we just went, I'm not doing that.
And had he been married before your husband?
No.
Okay, so his first.
Oh, sorry, yes. My first one, you mean?
Your second husband.
No, he's never been married.
Elizabeth Taylor over here. Second husband, had he been married? First husband, had he been married before?
Yes.
So you were the second wife to your first husband.
Yes.
And now he's good. Let's draw a map. No, but this is the thing. Everything's so complicated now.
Yeah, that's right.
Back in the 50s, I met this guy. We went to a dance together. He touched my hand and we got married.
And to death do us part.
And 52 years later, he died. And then that was the only thing. But now there's so much more that we experience in life. And then there's other people who just don't even want to get married. I talked to a beautiful girl the other day. I noticed her, you kind of have to look for work as well. And I was like, oh, that's a beautiful engagement ring. Wink, wink. And she said, oh, I don't think we're ever going to get married. And I said, why? And she goes, we've been engaged for 8 years. We've got kids. We've got family. We're looking after in-laws. We're sandwiched in that thing where we're looking after our parents and our kids. We know we love each other, blah, blah, blah. And I said, you do realise it only takes 5 minutes. And she goes, do you have a card? And I went, okay, this is working.
I'll try that again.
Yeah, try it. Yeah, it's a good one. All the many, many ways that you can actually celebrate your day. You've done both. And, you know, I guess both of them would have been beautiful.
Yeah, equally.
Equally
That's right.
beautiful,
Yeah.
but a bit more relaxed the second time round.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, these are the stories we're going to share with you. Thank you for listening for our first episode. We've got lots of stuff to cover. We're also looking for great stories, great love stories about couples.
Right on in.
Things that could actually go wrong on your wedding. We'd love to hear that, how you coped with it. I had some bulldog bridesmaids, which were hilarious, as in actually French bulldog bridesmaids. There's so many stories to cover off. So thank you for joining us, Nicki. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Moyra.
We'd love you to share this as well with anyone who's getting married, so they can actually take part in all of listening to these great tips.
Get their hot tips.
Yes, absolutely. We've got lots of information. We're going to have lots of people on as well.
Lots of vendors.
Yeah, florists, all that kind of stuff.
Photographers, musos.
Yep, what you're
Some of
looking
the
for in a
things
great
you don't
photo.
even really think about, you know, how are you going to get there, you know?
All
So,
that kind of jazz.
Yeah.
And a golf cart. That was unexpected in mine. Anyway, make sure you follow us on your favourite podcast platform.
All loved up and ready to propose? Or maybe you're searching for the perfect wedding ring. My Jewellery Shop are your engagement and wedding ring experts. At My Jewellery Shop, it's your time to shine. Gold Coast Highway, Nobby Beach, and myjewelleryshop.com.au.
Good Work Podcasts.